Warning, the following video review contains spoilers for Mobile Fighter G Gundam. If you do not wish to be spoiled and wish to watch the show, stop watching now. You have been warned.
Hey gang, today we are taking a look at Bandai's MSIA Ultimate Gundam. Now this Gundam here, as you can see, is kind of loaded to the gills with beam weapons, and he is the standard MSIA size. Specifically, they are just a bit bigger than Cyberverse, about twice as big as Cyberverse figures. Now, the Ultimate Gundam was designed and built in Neo, Japan by Dr. Raizio Kashu and his eldest son Koji, specifically built in the Neo Japan colony. The Ultimate Gundam is far more than a simple mobile fighter. It was built not as a fighting machine, but instead as a device to heal the ravaged Earth using nanomachines. This unit possessed the abilities of self-evolution, self-regeneration, and self-replication. The Ultimate Gundam was light years ahead of any other unit that existed at the same time. Sadly, the Gundam would not get the chance to fulfill its intended role. Shortly before the 13th Gundam fight, the Neo Japan's Major Alube Ishikawa and Dr. Mikamura, Dr. Kashu's longtime friend and associate, attempted to steal the Ultimate Gundam. During the raid, Dr. Kashu was captured and his wife was killed while trying to distract the soldiers so that Koji could go and steal the unit and escape to Earth. Now, if you're a Gundam fan, you know that women, well, specifically anyone who's a mother or an elderly sister figure or a motherly figure, has the lifespan of a fruit fly in the Gundam universe. And, well, that just pisses me off anyway. So, this figure itself is actually really cool. Poseability. It's got swivels in the arms and ball joints. Head doesn't really move all that much, but it can move. Torso, there is a little bit of wiggle in the torso. There is a ball joint in the hip and a double knee bend, and then the feet are ball joints. Now, if you have ever seen this figure in the toy store, you will notice that I have done a little bit of panel lining to this guy. Now, originally it looked like the back here where there was no panel lining. And each one of these little beam cannons, which there are tons of, 2 on the sides of the knees, 4 on each shoulder, and then 3 in his backpack where a thruster should be. No idea why he has beam cannons where a thruster should be. You will notice that I have gone ahead and added some detailing to this figure. This guy was pretty boring without the detailing, so I took a very small marker and just went to town on him. Now, I have not done panel linings all over. I kind of kept it to where I thought they would look the best, but as you can see, I think the effect is very nice. Now, back to the story. You probably can guess that going to Earth didn't end so well, and the Ultimate Gundam did not survive its crash landing on Earth completely unscathed. Due to the crash, the unit's primary logic systems completely malfunctioned, and the Dark Gundam was born, otherwise known as the Devil Gundam in Japan. It retained the task of healing the planet, but like all good artificial intelligences, determined that humanity must be eliminated in order for the planet to be saved. Go science, because you know that's exactly how robots work. Now, if you've been a fan of the show, or specifically Mobile Fighter G Gundam the show, you probably realize this is not what actually the Ultimate Gundam looks like. It looks a little bit different. So, we are going to take a look at that right now. So, here we have the Dark or Ultimate Gundam. Lobster Gundam! As you can see, the Ultimate Gundam is not initially what I just showed you. What I showed you was actually kind of just a fan-made mode that Bandai just commissioned into actually adding to the toy. What we have here is the Lobster Gundam of Death and Destruction. Now, as you may be wondering, why in the hell would Dr. Kashu create a giant Lobster Gundam? I don't know. For the record, to get this unit onto the figure, all you have to do is just remove the lower legs and torso. It's just a peg on the bottom, and just yank it off and plop them on over here. The toy itself is made of very pretty malleable ABS plastic, and each one of these legs is connected via ball joints. However, good luck trying to pose them because they only really go in one specific order. Now, if the figure itself looks rather dull, that's because this sucker just gathers dust like no other figure I have ever owned. As you can see, it is very dusty, and this is after I wiped it down yesterday. Like the figure I showed you earlier, I have actually gone ahead and added quite a bit of panel lining to this guy, specifically against the main crotch area, well, I guess, I don't know, the attachment area here, the claws, and then around back, the middle section of the lobstery mode, and then back here I've added panel lining. I also went ahead and colored in all of the beam cannons. Again, why does this figure have so many beam cannons? A total of 25 beam cannons on his back and on his mid-torso section. Now, you might be wondering, are you able to pose this guy? Not really, because as I said, the legs don't really want to pose all that much, and it just looks silly if you pose it weirdly. His other poseability is up here. You do have some poseability options here at the upper torso. And then the arms. The lobster arms do have cannons in them, though they look like they've got primarily thrusters here up front. But then if you open them, there are missiles inside that fire if you open the claw all the way, as you saw there. Unfortunately, I like to be able to pose it with the claw open, so I've got to remove the missile. And the missile is, if you've ever watched the show, looks mostly like a giant jumble of DG cells, or Devil Gundam cells, for short. Overall, this is a very, very cool looking set. Is it perfect? Oh, by no means no. But as a showpiece and just sitting on your shelf, this thing looks rather awesome. Now, fans of the show will know that this is not his final form. In fact, this is the first form that the Devil Gundam or Dark Gundam took. He then had a second form that looked much weirder than this. It was like 5 or 6 times as large, except this part was sticking off of it. And then that got defeated in the Guiana Highlands. And then he kind of took over the entire colony of Neo-Japan and finally got another form. Now, this is the only toy that Bandai ever released of the Dark/Devil Gundam, but they did, however, release a 144 model kit. So guys, next time we will be taking a look at the 144 Gunpla Devil Gundam. I hope you enjoyed this review and the look at the Ultimate/Dark Gundam. And guys, I'll catch you next time.